Good evening, Topic Mixer family. Actually, I should say good morning because it's the next day now. Thought I'd log in and make a quick video this evening. Got a couple of subjects I want to talk about. First, let's get the elephant in the room out of the way. Let's talk about this again because 2 weeks after the event, we're still talking about it. January 6th, as we know, those idiots that decided to storm the Capitol building. They had on their mind to kill senators and execute them on the front lawn. They brought in the Confederate flag, which we hadn't seen in trying to get anywhere near D.C. since the 1860s. Um, wow, it was a mess. It's a hot mess. Now we're learning so much more about it. We're learning that a lot of these people were veterans. We're learning a lot of people were ex firefighters and police officers, people from all walks of life. There were people who were gun rights people there. There were white nationalists there, and people just angry about the election in general that were there. Uh, we're also finding out that some of the conspiracy is that some of the actual senators on the Republican side that were sitting in Congress were in on the planning for this march on the Capitol. We also know that a representative from the state of Virginia, I believe, or Missouri, who was living in Virginia, doesn't really have a Missouri address, was involved in this. No, I take that back. Howley. His name is Howley. He's in Congress. He has a Virginia address, lives in Missouri because he's using like his sister or sister-in-law's address in Missouri. So then he ran for office in Missouri, but he's sitting in the house. He's actually still living in Virginia. I guess technically he is building a house in Missouri, so he's going to move there, but he doesn't currently have a physical address in Missouri. Yeah, that's controversial what I just said, and I'm probably going to get tagged for it, but hey, it's true. I'm just telling the truth. Telling the truth. There's an article on that. I'll post it in the description below. So there's a lot that's going on with this, and it's scary to think that there's a planned protest, armed protest, where they're going to march on all 50 state capitals and D.C. on the day of inauguration. They're going to do everything they can to protect the president. And my biggest fear is this: that some of those National Guard, some of those police officers are on the side of those protesters because they've penetrated into our government. They're in the police force. They're in the military. They're definitely in the halls of Congress. So this is a scary situation. We don't know what to expect. We shall see what happens. I'm hoping that democracy prevails in all of this, that our democratic system works, and that America stays strong because this is a tough situation. And we keep talking about this. We keep hearing about all these different things happening. Like I said, um, President Trump, that's the next story, got impeached for the second time. And this was done quick, too. Um, y'all need to look up this video. Cori Bush is one of the newest congressmen in Congress. If you listen to her speech, some of y'all gonna get mad because she talks about white supremacy and she calls Donald Trump the white supremacist president. Well, I feel that's true. You may not feel that's true, but I feel that's true. But Cori Bush, this is the thing. She got booed by the Republicans. Everyone said, well, she got booed because she said white supremacy. If you're booing because she said white supremacy, then there's a problem too. But I'll leave that alone. Because these same people were calling her Breonna Taylor the first day she came to Congress. Come on now. That's a sign of white supremacy right there. You call this woman Breonna Taylor. Cori Bush is an activist in her home state in Missouri. She is an activist. She's a proud new member of the squad. She's a liberal, but you called her Breonna Taylor. That's a slap in the face, not just her, of all black people. Man, that was insulting as that can be. And then you gonna get up there and boo when she makes a speech about white supremacy. Yeah, it erased anything for me with them. But y'all need to listen to that. Look up Cori Bush speaking at the impeachment trial. Um, Sorry about the grand pause. That just what I saw floored me. That was awful. That was terrible. That's another piece of news I want to throw in there. But like I said, Donald Trump is impeached again. Nancy Pelosi is going to send it to the Senate. Most likely, the Senate will convene after the 21st to decide whether they're going to have a trial or not. And they might have a trial, but the question is it constitutional? Because Donald Trump will no longer be president. But the idea is that the Senate gets a chance to censure Trump, keeping him from running for office again, forbidding him from running for office again. That could be punishment for what happened on June 6th, because like I said, he had a rally. At the rally, he urged his supporters to march. He said he was going to be with them as they go into the Capitol building to be strong, and said we can't be peaceful. He actually said these words, so they can't say, well, he didn't incite a riot. That's what they're trying to say, that he didn't. That's what his supporters say, but actually he did. And it's sad to see what I saw the day of the impeachment trial, where they were getting up there dogging out Black Lives Matter. As a black man, Black Lives Matter to me. I mean, not saying that white lives don't matter. I'm saying Black Lives Matter to me because they're fighting for the things that I believe in. We need police reform. They're fighting for police reform. We're fighting for better economic conditions in black urban neighborhoods. Things that they don't talk about, black farmers, they need help too. That fight could be good for white people as it is for black people. But, again, we live in that world. They're still mad about Colin Kaepernick. They don't like the fact that Black Lives Matter was marching in the street. Now, here's the difference between those guys. Those guys are angry over an election. And they'll say, well, Black Lives Matter, they burn buildings. Well, Black Lives Matter is upset because people were getting killed by the police. I don't agree with the violence, but you see what I'm saying? The difference here is you're upset about an election you think was stolen that probably wasn't stolen. It's just that your guy didn't win. Does that make sense to you? See what I'm saying? It's like your guy didn't win at all. Uh, uh, but these guys are worried about people. Now remember what happened. Floyd. Police had his foot on the neck of that man. Ahmaud Arbery got killed by two folks in the neighborhood who decided to chase him down as he was walking down the street, regardless of whether he entered the house or not. He didn't steal anything. He walked out and kept going. And it wasn't uncommon for people to do that, from what I heard. Breonna Taylor gets shot by the police who breached her house with really an unlawful warrant. If you ask me, she was not really involved in the case. She had a boyfriend that was ex boyfriend that was a drug dealer that she no longer was with. Her boyfriend shot at the police because he didn't know who that was breaking in the house. He thought he was protecting his home. Young man gets shot in the back. That's another story that just recently happened. Gets shot in the pop about 7 times. Police get off. It was lawful what they did. They protected themselves. You shoot somebody in the back, I don't see how that's protecting yourself. Now, if that man turns around and he's got a weapon, you shoot him. And maybe we can say something else. Even then, it's going to be wish-washy. But you shot him in the back 7 times. He's paralyzed. He's got kids. He can't enjoy his life with his kids because he's paralyzed. Yet, we're marching on the Capitol because we're upset about an election, trying to overturn the election that was done constitutionally, that was done correctly, that was legal. We're trying to overturn that election for what? Donald Trump is going to fix the problems of the world. Donald Trump was causing problems in the world. That speech he gave at the Republican convention should have said something to you. He said he kept the soccer moms safe from the undesirables moving into their neighborhood. Just like Tucker Carlson and that Shapiro lady said a few months earlier about changing demographics in neighborhoods. Racism ties itself together, so it's in there. You know, really, black people shouldn't be upset about the march on Washington because white supremacy was white supremacy versus white supremacy, It had nothing really to do with Black Lives Matter in that form, but we know that the one group was angry because of all that other stuff that was going on that the other group was letting go on because it fit into their narrative of what they need to do. But I'll leave that part alone. So, moving on to other things. Hey, y'all heard about the NFL playoffs, right? Yeah, I gotta go there. Gotta go there. My Saints, moving on up. They in the playoffs. Uh, they will play Tampa Bay this week. Be the battle of the old men. Yeah, it's you can say the AARP Bowl this weekend. Coming from an old man, I'm 47, so what am I saying, right? The ARRP Bowl this weekend will be Brady versus Drew Brees. I'm hoping Drew Brees comes out on top in this one. Uh, Brady's the playoff king, though. You know what I'm saying? He's the playoff king. He had the easier shot last week because he played they played Washington Redskins, who had a losing record. They had a losing record. Tom Brady had the superior team in that situation because the other team had a losing record. Let's remember that Brady has lost to Drew Brees twice before. So there's no opportunity, none whatsoever, for him to come back and win this one at all. I just don't see it happen. I don't see it happen. I'm trying to tell you right now, it's not going to happen. So just, man, Tampa Bay is going to be 0 and 3. 0 and 3. Just letting you know. Yo, another shocking game. I mean, whoa. Cleveland beat Pittsburgh, man. Pittsburgh started off at what, 11 and 0, and just went downhill from there. Without a running game, and the defense didn't look like the old Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh didn't look like Pittsburgh at all in that game. Okay, understand that first snap that went over. What's his name? Burger's head. Yeah, Burger guy. Yeah, him. Went over his head. That probably floored it for him in the end of the game. He kind of looked like Manning did that first time when he was in Denver at the Super Bowl, that first Super Bowl in Denver. That was amazing how that looked exactly like that. So they might be Roethlisberger and company might be back next year if they get their running game together and get their defense back. Stay strong. They'll be back. They might be back next year. But Cleveland Browns, they moving on to the next round. They unfortunately got the Bills, which I feel is another team that's see, I mean the Browns got their first win in the playoffs since I don't know when. I think the last time they were even in the playoffs was like '95. So hey, great, congratulations to the Browns. They're moving on. I was kind of upset to see Seattle get knocked out, but oh well. You know what I'm saying? Oh well. Packers will be playing this week, and I got a feeling the Packers gonna dominate that game. We shall see. Um, Another interesting matchup is Baltimore, and we'll see how Baltimore does in their matchup against Kansas City Chiefs. Mahomes, man, Jackson, that's going to be an awesome game to watch. I think Mahomes might score a few more points than Lamar Jackson, but we'll see. See how that goes with that. Defensive wise, I think that the two defenses match up pretty well. Uh, Both don't have great defenses like they used to, but they're still pretty good. They can be black, can be a black and blue game. So we'll see how that goes there. Defensively, with all of them, the Saints have a very good defense. They can get to Brady. They'll come out with a different game plan. They have improved their receiving core, so we'll see how that goes. Um, Man, NFL. NFL. I love football, bro. I love football. NFL, college, everything like that. And hey, you know what? Kaepernick's not kneeling, so maybe you white folks can watch the game too. Anyway, that was a joke. That was a joke. That was a joke. Don't take me seriously on that one. Next, Wonder Woman 1984. Okay, I watched the movie. I will say this for the movie. It was entertaining to a certain degree. It was like something like it was like watching the TV show from 1984. It really was. There was some Linda Carter moments in there. Um, at the same time, I wasn't a big fan of the movie per se or the plot. You know, the Wishmaster basically is what they were going for, and it was okay. Um, I think old girl did a good job as the cat the leopard. She did okay. She did a good job. Old boy as the bad guy, he was okay too. I think his character could have been better. You know, he's wonderful in the Mandalorian, but in this movie, he's okay. Yeah, not as good. Um, it's probably time to move on from the DC level of things. Wonder Woman 1984 brought back what was the guy's name from the first movie? They brought him back because she wished him up and he came in there. I guess that was supposed and there was that romantic tension, so he gave a deep plot to it. But at the same time I was like felt like the movie was all over the freaking place. Where are we going with this? Where are we going with this? You know. But we understand they're building the DC universe just like Marvel's building a Marvel Universe type deal. It's just taking a longer road and a lot of bumps, a lot of huge bumps. Like they just lost Cyborg. I just don't see how that's going to make it. If you lost Cyborg, how do you lose Cyborg? Cyborg's like one of the major characters, man. Oh well, he won't be in the Flash movie that's coming up, and you see how long it's been since the last DC movie. They've been doing better with like, was it Suicide Squad and movies like that. They have another Batman coming out. They've got three different Batmans. Think about or two different Batmans that they're using for these movies. I'm trying to get all that. Now I see what they're doing in the Marvel universe. That's cool. You're gonna have You're gonna have Spider Man with the the three Spider Mans because they're going through the Spider Verse. They're going through the different universes just like the cartoon. But yo, what's going on with DC? It's like all over the place. And Aquaman 2 is probably going to be a bust. Because Aquaman 1 was great. So was Wonder Woman's first movie. That was great. That Legion, the whatever Legion of Heroes or whatever that first movie was. Eh, the Superman thing was kind of whack. They could have did a little bit better with that too. Um, I'm enjoying this, man. Enjoying just sitting here talking, chatting about the stuff, like this, like the movie and stuff. So that was 1984. Um, I've been watching Netflix on and off. I haven't really watched anything that you probably haven't seen for that Night Sky. I watched that movie. Interesting sci-fi type movie about another one of those end of the world type stories. I wasn't quite sure what happened at the end if you watch that movie, but the whole movie was good. I mean, it's worth watching. It kind of mixes things like Gravity in there. It takes a little bit of some of the other movies that you've seen, and it just mixes it all together and makes a good movie. I mean, that's like one you could sit down in the movie theater and watch, and that's what I like about Netflix, man. They're not scared to go there. I watched a few other B movies. To me, a lot of action movies come on Netflix, and I watch them. I can't remember all their names right now. Don't be watching too much Netflix. It's been a while though. I've been working, so um, if you can check out Netflix, that's the other stumping grounds right now. I'm going to check out WandaVision. I'm hearing great things about WandaVision. I will get my opportunity to check that out. So, I know I started out on a big negative note talking about um, talking about the insurrection, and I went from the football to what's it called. Hey, the reason I'm doing that is I got this podcast that I've started. Now, it's not going to be on the Topic Mixer page. It's coming soon, and when it's coming, it's called Thought You Were Woke, No Speed Limit Podcast. It's going to be similar to what I just did. This is what Topic Mixer was originally supposed to be about, and I kind of didn't do it that way, but it's going to be like that. It's just going to be subjects from just boom, 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 like, whoa, how did we get here? That's the whole idea of Thought You Were Woke. No Speed Limit podcast. So, um, like I said, that's coming soon. I hope you enjoy that. Meanwhile, hey, Topic Mixer is here. I'm going to try to make videos every week or every other week or so. Um, so let's get back to a couple of more subjects. So there's another stimulus package coming. $1,400 to add to the 600 you already get, so it add up to 2,000 like Donald Trump originally wanted. That's coming. Don't know how it's going to go through Congress. We shall see. Like I said, Democrats are split 50-50. The Democrats in the House have a narrow margin of majority. We'll see how that goes as well. Um, but with the way things are going, I'm sure that bill is going to pass. It's needed. We're nearing 400,000 people dead from COVID. I don't even really want to talk about um, that much, but I'm sure that's on the minds of a lot of Americans right now. Hope you're wearing your mask. Hope you're social distancing. The spread right now is ridiculous. A lot has to do with the holidays because people didn't exactly obey the rules as they should have and stayed away from their homes and stuff like that. But I just hope that you are doing well. I'm praying for you and praying that you stay well. So let me just bring up the last subject of the day: how I stay positive. I am a Christian, so I believe in Jesus Christ. So I believe in the power of prayer and healing. I hope that you believe in good thoughts, the power of prayer, and the power of healing as a human being. Um, I believe that God can heal all things, that He can change any direction on anything. That He says that if you believe and have the faith of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. Literally move mountains out of the way. You literally can move mountains out of the way. So you can definitely ask for healing. You can ask that coronavirus is taken away. So that's really true about my Christian beliefs. Um, I'm enjoying where my life is going now. I'm doing this. I'm podcasting. I still work every day, but it's time to just enjoy life. Enjoy doing the things I enjoy doing. You know what I'm saying? I'm always going to talk about politics. I know some of you get upset when you watch my videos. I had one pretty good critic. He didn't post his information here below, but I had to sort of put him on a timeout. Uh, so I do. I post, and I'm going to be real every time I talk to you. So I'm being as real as I can today. So hope you enjoyed this topic mixer. If you did, please hit that like button below. And if you don't, who cares? But hit that like button below. And if you haven't subscribed to Topic Mixer, now is the time to do it. Don't wait till next week, next month, anytime. Subscribe now. Subscribe now. Subscribe now to Topic Mixer. Because I need as many subscriptions as I can get from you. Because we try to move to the next level.